Brad Williams, Frugal Finance, debt collectors and their tactics. What protections do you have as a consumer versus debt collectors? Well, first and foremost, if you have a legitimate debt, pay the debt. Otherwise, if it's an error, try to stay level-headed. If a debt collector contacts you, and here are some of your rights in the event that there are some inappropriate actions on part of a debt collector. What laws limit what debt collectors can say or do? The Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, the FDCPA, is a federal law that limits what debt collectors can do when attempting to collect certain types of debt. The Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act covers how debts are reported in credit reports. In addition, there are state laws that provide protection against unfair and deceptive practices. What is the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act? Fair Debt Collection Practice Act is the main federal law that governs debt collective practices. The FDCPA prohibits debt collection companies from using abusive, unfair, or deceptive practices to collect debt from you. The FDCPA covers the collection of debts that are primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. It doesn't cover business debt, and it also doesn't generally cover collections by the original creditor or businesses you owed money to. Under the FDCPA, debt collectors can include collection agencies, debt buyers, and lawyers. Any FDCPA-covered debt collector who contacts you about a debt is required to tell you certain information about it. Limits on how debt collectors can communicate with you about a debt. Time and place. Generally, debt collectors may not contact you at unusual times or at a time or place they know or should know is inconvenient to you. They are generally prohibited from contacting you before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. Also, if a debt collector knows or has reason to know that you're not allowed to receive personal communications at work, they're not allowed to contact you there. If they call you when it's inconvenient for you to speak with them, you can tell them that and they're required to terminate the call. Social media and electronic communication. A debt collector may not use social media to publicly post about a debt that you claim you owe. However, they can contact you privately on social media unless you request that they're not allowed to contact you that way. If the debt collector communicates with you using an email address, telephone, text number, or other electronic medium, they must offer you a reasonable and simple method for you to opt out. Harassment. Debt collectors may not harass you or anyone else over the phone or through any other form of contact, including text or email. Representation by attorney. If a debt collector knows that an attorney is representing you about the debt collector generally must stop contacting you and must contact the attorney in debt. This is only true if the debt collector knows or can easily find out the name and contact information of your attorney. If an attorney is representing you and a debt collector calls, give them your attorney's name and contact information and tell them that they should contact your attorney directly instead of you. It's also a good idea to keep all documents sent by a debt collector and write down dates and times of conversations along with notes about what you discussed. These records can help you if you meet a lawyer or end up in court. What is the Fair Credit Reporting Act? The Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act covers how financial matters, including debts, can be reported in your credit report. For example, if a debt collector provides or furnishes information to a consumer reporting company that you believe is inaccurate, you have the right to dispute that information, and the credit reporting company must note on your credit report that you're disputing the information, investigate the dispute, forward all documentation you provided in support of your dispute to the company that provided that information, and report the result back to you. What regulations do states place on debt collectors? Most states have laws about debt collection practices, many of which are similar to the FDCPA. Some of these state laws cover the original creditor, while others don't. States also have unfair and deceptive acts and practice laws that may apply to debt collections. Contact your state attorney general's office to learn more about the laws in your state. Comment if you have any questions regarding this topic. This information will be posted below. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching. See you soon.